Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Bodied, a Cloud9 Fancast. As always, I'm your host, Havokpus, and I'm joined by partner in crime, Frozencreek. How are you
Yeah, a
doing?
lot has happened since the last time I was here with you guys. I moved. I bought a smartwatch. Uh, that's about it. Actually, that's not a lot. I lied.
Now
But
your wrist
I
can
now
also
have
be smart.
what?
Your wrist, it can also be smart. It can know how to do things.
Some would say it's arguably smarter than I am. So, and it's really doesn't do all that much. So we'll see where it takes me takes me in life, and maybe I'll be as smart as it someday.
Well, you just have to believe, honestly. If you believe that you're smarter than your watch, it will come true.
Well,
But
if I believe that Cloud9 is making it out of groups, then I think I can believe I can beat this watch, but we will see.
we'll get to that in a little bit.
Fair.
I actually have some quick news for people to run down with everybody. Just some quick kind of match results. Rainbow Six won their ESL match of the week. I'm not sure if it was like the first one for their season or what. Um, tr- Keeping track of Rainbow Six is always tricky because like since they're in Korea, every time like I'm asleep, they're doing stuff, so it's kind of hard to figure out what's going on when. But they won, which is really great. It was like a 2-0 win, so good for them. Uh, Nick FPS, one of our Brazilian Fortnite players, actually ended up getting fifth place at the Fortnite Championship series in Brazil, which is honestly I think a pretty big deal. We've had our other two players didn't do as well, but him getting fifth, I think it's pretty good. Especially with probably how many players were actually competing in the whole tournament. So to get fifth place overall is really great. Uh, Mango in his latest tournament event that he was in, I think it was called like Beyond Summit or something. He lost in the top 16 actually to Lucky. Um, I understand, Frozen, that you were watching some of that and you actually were pretty baffled by how Ice Climbers was somehow a legal choice.
Yeah, I've watched Ice Climbers before. I've seen the wobble, and like for some reason I didn't ever get really that pissed off until I was watching Mango get like three stocked because he just ran in and got wobbled every time. It just seems like a bunch of bullshit to me because it's almost a guaranteed stock if you get grabbed, and you can seemingly get grabbed once a game. And they already seem to have an advantage with two characters over one. So already that's stupid. The wobble's stupid. And apparently
There,
it's banned in some things, in some tournaments. I don't know why it's not banned in all tournaments and why they can't just like take it out of the game or something, because it really is unfair and stupid. So if you're not a huge Smash player and you see Ice Climbers, then just don't even watch. It's not fun. You're just going to get pissed off. It's like playing against a Pike in League of Legends. Like it's not fair. It's stupid. He just is invisible, then grabs you, then stuns you, then executes you, and gives his whole team gold. Like what about that is fun?
no, yeah, I completely relate to your point. I mean, I remember watching it like a year or two ago when I saw it. And I was just like, how is this at all fair? And like, I think like at least the Smash community's justification is always like, oh, well, there are counters to it. If you're good enough, you can play around the counters. And so that's kind of their justification for it being a legal move. But it definitely doesn't seem right when it is, if you are good enough at Ice Climbers to be able to effectively wobble in such a way that it's basically giving you guaranteed stocks. I think that there definitely should be restrictions. If you know, and it's not like everyone is an Ice Climbers main, and it's just ridiculous. But if someone is so proficient at that character that they can just completely abuse the wobble mechanic and end up, going through tournaments and going way farther than maybe they should because they've managed to find an exploit within this game. An exploit, I might add, to a game that's already filled with incredible, crazy bugs and whatnot, and to just get free stocks for nothing. It definitely seems like a really unfair advantage. I would really like to see, maybe some restrictions being placed. Melee is a really weird esport because it hasn't really changed all that much, and the community seems to be really against change. I remember there was, I think for some tournaments they were moving away from CRT TVs and they were going to play on, they were going to play on like plasma screens or something, or like LCD screens. And I remember the players and the community like being outraged that like they were wanting to move away from CRT TVs to something else. So I'm not sure if that change is, that may happen anytime soon or if at all. But I think it's just interesting that the Melee community is very kind of set in their ways and how things operate, and they don't really want to like go in a different direction that may help the health of the game from like a competitive point of view.
Yeah, my big thing is like there doesn't seem to be a trade-off to missing a wobble. Like if you miss a wobble, like you just miss and maybe take a couple percentage damage. But like if you hit it, then bam, you just take a stock straight from them. Like at least with Jigglypuff, if she does her beat down or whatever it is, the sleep thing, like at least she's put to sleep for a hot sec and super vulnerable if she misses. But like with ice climbers, you're just like, oh, all right, I guess I'll just sit here and watch until they decide to stop. So that was what felt stupid to me. I mean, I can't say I'm a huge Smash a melee player, so I maybe there's something I don't know about it, but like as someone watching it, it was stupid as hell.
Right, right, and that was my reaction as well. I don't really know like all the nuances, but from the outsider perspective, it always seems to be like, well, this is really broken. Why do you guys still allow this? So, it may get pushed to more tournaments banning it, especially if it's more and more people complaining about it. So we'll probably have to see in the future, but it's definitely an interesting debate that goes on.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that tournaments ban it. Shout out to well, I don't want to give him too much of a shout out, but shout out to the people who are also Michigan fans hosting the tournament in Detroit next weekend, I think. I probably won't end up going because tickets are $90 for 3 days.
Oh,
But
geez.
yeah, which they hosted at the Giant Convention Center here, which I think is probably why it's so expensive. But you think
Mm.
maybe they would find somewhere smaller where they don't have to charge so much because
It could be just demand, and that there's probably a bunch of other stuff going on, and they feel like they need the space. It's
yeah,
stuff like that's
maybe.
probably like a lot. But yeah, if you're in the area, or if you want to catch it on Twitch, definitely have a good time doing that. But I got some other news. CSGO signed Elma Putty as an assistant coach, and hopefully that'll definitely help the team. They played against NRG in their ECS match for that week, and it's so watching the game. It wasn't, getting O2'd wasn't as bad as it looked. The team was still looking kind of a bit, struggling to coordinate. They haven't really been a team for that long. It's maybe only been a couple months, I believe. So, they're still probably working out how everyone plays with each other and getting settled in their roles and everything. But they were making it fairly close, and they were definitely making the series very competitive. So I think just because they lost to NRG, at this time is definitely one of the top teams in NA for CS:GO. I think we played okay, and I think we can still be pretty hopeful that the team will improve and trying to get better results once they start to really meld together.
Yeah, it's really early in this process, especially if they're just bringing in an assistant coach right now. So I guess I don't want to be too upset about it, but I really would like to see this team start to get into full throttle, because it's been a long while since we've seen a CSGO team go out there and stomp on someone.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we will get to that. I think it's just a matter of, this roster has potential, and through that match it showed the potential that we had. I think it's just a matter of making sure that we're cleaning up mistakes and just kind of meshing together as a team, and that takes time. I think that a lot of C9 fans are actually being fairly patient with this team, because they know that once the team does like get going and really starts to get into a groove, they'll probably be able to do a lot better, which I think is great. A lot of Cloud9 CSGO fans have been really, really adamant and really particular about rosters, especially when the team has made moves that kind of dismantle it and put it in a really vulnerable and weak position to begin with. Where I remember when we had like the previous roster where it was like Cajun B and Golden were playing, and the team just looked, it just did not look together, and it looked very weak, and looking at it, it was just like there's no way this team's going to do anything at the current state it's in. But I feel like at a point that we're at a point where we can do great things as long as we put the practice in and we put the time to make sure that we are improving.
Yeah, and I think part of it is like we're Stockholm syndrome out of having a good team, so we're just like accepting the pain of having a bad
We're
team.
so used to the abuse of losing.
Yeah, that we've just accepted it. We're like 10 10 is he football fans at this point, where
Or Arkansas football fans, they also
well,
have a bad
fair,
team.
fair, fair. So that's exactly what it's almost like at this point.
Yeah, and who knows how long it'll take for the team to really improve. I think we just have to right now just support the team and hope that each day they're putting in the practice and looking to really improve and meld together as a unit. And that can be really hard to do, especially in games like this in Overwatch, where like team coordination is like very key, rather than some esports, like you can really like put more on individuals than working as a team. But I think for stuff like CS:GO and Overwatch, you definitely need, like probably shooters in general, but you really need to have everyone kind of on the same page and working together. And hopefully they will get to that point.
Yeah, and it takes time to get that, uh, and it takes time to get that natural chemistry going, where you kind of make decisions without talking about it too. So it takes
Yeah, yeah.
time,
I am
but
really excited for Tens. He's I remember watching the NRG game.
yeah.
He was doing some really great things, and I'm hoping that the longer he's on Cloud9, the more we'll get to see him. So I'm super hyped about Tens.
Or yeah, he's 18 now, right?
I believe
18
so.
or 19. Yeah, he's super young. So yeah, that's pretty hype.
Yeah, yeah. But moving on to speaking of teamwork making the dream work, our World of Warcraft team, Frozen, did a repeat championship victory and was able to win the AWC Summer Finals. It was a really exciting event. C9 actually had to go through the lower bracket. They slaughtered everybody, and they ended up playing Method Black, which I believe is from Europe. But they played Method Black in the finals, and they basically just used Druid, Warlock, Mage, which is their bread and butter, and they completely crushed it. And it was a really exciting match, and I'm super glad that we got to win another championship.
Oh yeah, this was actually something I got to watch for once. I'll be
Yeah, yeah,
honest, I've
you're
never
actually
played WoW Arena, so I literally had no clue what was going on. It's kind of confusing if you don't know what's going on. And by the time I actually started to understand that some of the cooldowns were like 3 minutes long, it was game
yeah.
7 or game 6 already, and it was ending. So
Yeah. That's one of the big things for WoW Arena is managing cooldowns. One big one is like getting the mage to use ice block. Because if you get their ice block off, they can't really like defend themselves from like a bunch of high damage. So you get the ice block out, and then like you can refocus on them, and then it's harder to keep your mage alive because the mage is very squishy. So it's all about managing your cooldowns as well as managing resources. One thing, if anyone watched it, one thing that was really big and really important was that Cubsy, our healer, was able to kind of step away from the fight and let his teammates be sort of self-sufficient for a bit, so he could take a drink and get his mana back up. Because if your healer has more mana than their other healer, you've kind of already won the fight, and it's all just about making sure that you can heal more than the enemy team. And I think that was a lot of the times that we were able to beat Method Black in the finals was just Cubsy and the team was making better decisions, and Cubsy had more mana. So, just being able to operate as a team and being more coordinated and coordinating your resources better, and your damage, that leads to a lot of wins, and that's what Cloud9 did end up doing.
Oh yeah, and that would be why they're back-to-back champions.
Yeah, exactly. Their next stop is BlizzCon, and that's essentially like Worlds for WoW Arena. So it'll be really exciting to see how C9 measures up with some of the best teams in the world. Really, if they can end up winning BlizzCon, them winning pretty much every major championship this year would be huge. And I think it also just be a big incentive to keep the team. I mean, I love watching this team and I love watching WoW Arena. It's been such a fascinating esport to watch, and I would love for us to keep a dog in that fight and to continue to do stuff in that space, because it's really entertaining and it's really interesting.
Yeah, it looks like BlizzCon is coming up November 1st and 2nd, so we do have a hot minute until that starts.
Yeah. And I could imagine that metas and stuff will shift from now until then, but hopefully the team can stay on top of things and still give a good fight. I'm not sure who else would be participating, so I'm not sure how tough the competition will be. But if we can get a championship at BlizzCon, that'll be a pretty big deal. I'll be pretty excited.
Yeah, just a matter of time at this point.
Yeah, for sure. But I think all we have left to talk about is League of Legends. The World Group Draw was earlier this week, and C9 ended up getting into Group A along with G2 and Griffin, as well as a to be determined third party once the play-in stage has all been finished up with. So, Frozen, I guess just what was your impressions from the draw? Did you see some groups that you like, things that you didn't like?
I think most of my reactions are kind of what everyone kind of thought. Group B is by far the group of life, which I guess fits the Phoenix theme kind of well. Someone is going to get their ass beat in that uh in that group and rise up like a Phoenix to quarterfinals and proceed to get their ass beat again. But that's beside the point. The only way that group, no, even if Damwon went into that group, it would still just be a 2-person group as opposed to just FPX. Group D, I think, is the most interesting group because it could be competitive, but it comes down to if Damwon goes into that group. Group D is the
Team Liquid's
one with
in.
Team Liquid,
Yeah. Okay.
HQ,
Yeah.
and IG. If if you throw in Damwon or Splice, maybe not even Splice.
I'm not too hot on Splice. I
Damwon.
think Splice is a fairly weak team. And I think they kind of barely just got into Worlds, and I wasn't really sold on when I was watching the EU Gauntlet. I wasn't really necessarily sold on them and their performance throughout the whole thing. I thought they were looking kind of weak, um, and I'm just not really a big fan of a lot of the players on Splice. I don't think they're super strong. At least that's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, not totally unfair. I I would like to see them go into Group B just so we can get Damwon in Group D because I think that would be a fun group to watch with IG, Damwon, and Team Liquid.
Oh yeah, for sure. Plus, I honestly I just want to see Team Liquid get challenged, just because they they beat us in another championship, and I really don't want to see Doublelift get out of groups.
Same. I'll be honest. I don't want to see them advance. Clutch, go. If they could win the whole thing, I'll cheer for them the whole time. I kind of
Oh,
want
I'm
to see Team and Liquid drop out in groups.
I'm a big Clutch supporter. I think that their transformation from being a mediocre team to turning into a really strong team that works together and is actually able to like elevate everyone else's play is amazing. Like, you know, Demonte is like this sleeper mid laner that everyone's like, I looked him over for a lot, and then you see Demonte play lately, and he's just like, this dude's amazing. How did he evolve into this juggernaut? And then Cody's son has improved so much, and then you have Lear's been playing well lately, and Hooney seems to be back in his Hooney form. So I'm sold on Clutch Gaming, and I want to see them do well.
Yeah. X actually we'll come back to it. Let's talk about Group C really quick, and then we'll do the Group A, which is what everyone came here for. Group C is considered the group of death just because it includes SKT, Fnatic, and RNG, which it actually kind of is. That's like the battle of bot lanes almost.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, kind of. If you put in
Maybe not SKT. SKT, I
yeah.
imagine, always plays through mid or more mid favored.
Yeah, I Teddies are okay. Yeah. So it kind of is. It's not like if Double Lift was in that group, it would 100% be the battle of
Right, right.
ADCs. But um, I think it's an interesting group. World starts. I guess maybe we should do predictions after the plans. So we'll
Yeah,
save that
the
for next
plans
week.
start. The plan starts next week, I believe.
Yes. Oh, we might not have an episode between plans and the group stage starting. We'll have to play that live and maybe we'll move around our schedules to make it work.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm thinking about it as it happens. Sorry guys. But yeah, so that's probably the most interesting group. RNG is good. I don't I don't know if they're great. I guess you would just say it's the group of death just because RNG is probably better than Cloud9.
Mhm.
So on average the teams are better. Um but I think Group A is pretty rough, but the only good thing is that we can't get the Chinese or sorry, we can get the Chinese or no, China got all three seeds through. So we can't get the Korean Damwon or we can't get Splice into our group. So our fourth group member, praying to God it's Unicorns of Love, is going to get their ass beat. So
Yeah, for Group
whoever they
A,
can pick a game off of is not going past groups.
yeah. For Group A, I was my heart kind of sank because like we're gonna have to go against some pretty stiff competition, and where the team is at currently, I'm not super confident in how well we can do. I mean that's not to say that we can't get in. You know, Cloud9 is always seems to be able to work miracles, and Worlds is kind of an interesting time because it seems like it really elevates everyone's play. And I think that's because they don't have a lot of distractions, and they're purely there to focus on scrims and actually playing League of Legends. So I think since their focus is sharper, they may be able to do better. Um, my only worry is that watching the finals and everything, C9 seems to really struggle if they're behind or they make too many mistakes, and I'm just worried that if we're put in that position that we really won't be able to have a lot of success. I think that C9 is probably going to have to make sure that they can get advantages early and can control the game. Playing against G2 and Griffin's going to be really tough, especially from a bot lane perspective. And that's a whole thing. But
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping that Sneaky is prepared to play against Perks. I know he's been duo queuing a little bit with Mickey, which actually I thought was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
If
Super
anyone has
cool.
watched the streams, Mickey seemed like a super cool guy, and Sneaky was having fun, and they seem to be like buds or whatever. So it was nice to watch that on stream. I even had this idea of like, what if Sneaky's recruiting Mickey to join our team for next year?
Oh boy.
Wouldn't that be cool though?
It would be cool. I like Zazel though. If we're
No,
going
yeah, is it
to,
like
I don't think I yeah, the only I don't know. I like our team.
yeah, our team is fine. I'm not sure really where you would change things without really throwing a wrench into how they've kind of gotten currently, because they're able to do a lot of things now. Um, I think really the only places you could really work on is maybe getting a more stable mid laner and then maybe working on bot lane. But those are like hard maybes. Um, but I just thought it was, if he's doing with him a lot, I just had the thought, the fancy idea of like, oh well, maybe Mickey decides to join C9 for whatever crazy reason. I don't know why he would, but you know, maybe he just takes like a bunch of crazy pills that morning. Just like, I want to join C9.
Don't we all?
Exactly.
But
But yeah, Group A is going to be tough. It will be interesting to see how we do play against G2 and Griffin, though. I think those will be really exciting matches.
yeah, G2 beat the snot out of us at MSI, but I think in almost all the games we had a jungler playing ADC. So I'm gonna give us a pass on that one. What I think is really interesting actually about the group is that Svenskeren is maybe top 5 junglers at Worlds, but they're actually going against arguably like 2 of the best players in the world who are actually junglers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I could legitimately see someone making an argument for Tarzan and Yankos being the best player currently playing at the world, like at the moment, not
Oh, for
ever.
sure.
Obviously, that's faker, but
they're both incredibly good.
like playing right now, like on their current form, I think you could make a case for Yankos and Tarzan being the best player in the world.
Yeah,
So
most definitely. And there's also the conversation about Blabber. I believe currently he's like rank 5 in
yeah,
EU West, which is very incredible to do, especially for just how short of a time he's been there. But I'm not sure. I don't know how much we're going to play around Blabber. From watching him play with the team, he just whenever the team plays with Blabber, it seems a lot more unfocused, and it just doesn't seem to be as coordinated and as strong as when Sven is playing. But I can definitely see us playing him if it's more they want like a surprise factor or they want to play in a completely different way than they've been scrimming, so no one really knows what C9 is going to do.
yeah, I think it would be something really interesting to throw in if we needed a win, like come the second week, like just not cheese our way to victory, but just go in there and just swing and swing and swing, and we're either gonna win by 10k at 20 or be down by 10k at 20. But at that point, sometimes that's what you have to do.
Yeah, for sure.
I think our best chance right now is to exploit Griffin through the mid and top side, but they're so gosh dang good. So if both Griffin and G2, like I know a lot of people are telling themselves that Griffin quote unquote choke, but like the only reason they didn't make Worlds last year was because they didn't win the summer split because they weren't in LCK for spring split, so they didn't pick up championship points then. So that's
Right.
the only reason they didn't go to Worlds last year. Um, I think they're coming with something to prove, and honestly, I could see them making a really good deep run to at least semis or finals against Eve and G2. I think they're really good and really fun to watch. So I'm just excited for the group of Clown Fiestas too, because this G2, Griffin, and Cloud9 are kings of eh, eh, Clown Fiestas, and I think that these might be the best games to watch. Um, Group C is three teams who are a little bit more organized and have like a style of play, but G2, Griffin, and Cloud9 are just going to be diving at level one, invading blue buffs and red buffs and all this crazy shit that you wouldn't expect. So that's what I'm super excited to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a good Worlds. I think we have a good mix of groups this year to where we can definitely see some really cool matchups. Pick'ems start next week, I believe. So if everyone is excited, super down for that, be sure to fill out your pick'ems and have a chance to win something.
Oh yeah. Before I guess that's pretty much all we have to talk about, right?
Yeah, I honestly have nothing left.
I do. One sec. Okay. So do you have the playing groups open right now?
No, I don't.
Okay. I'll send them over really quick. I just scroll down. They have it on there. Which four teams do you want to see make the group stages?
Let's see.
Uh,
Um,
for me, I really want to see Clutch and Unicorns of Love, my favorite team ever, not Cloud9. So it would be super hype for me to see a Unicorns come back from the dead and play at Worlds again, because they were one of the most fun teams to watch. Always.
yeah, I think for me, definitely Clutch. Um, but outside of that, I don't really know. I think definitely maybe detonation focus me or Isurus, just because Isurus being from like one of the South American regions, and then I believe detonation focus me is from the LJL. Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah. They're
sounds
from
right to me.
yeah they're from the LJL, and those reasons have been participating at Worlds for like ever, but they haven't really gotten really like into like the group stage and really had like a good run. They've always kind of been overshadowed by like just more mainstay regions. So I kind of want to see them do well just for the sake of them finally having like a good run and being able to do something that's more memorable than just kind of crashing and burning like it's expected.
Yeah, and there's some fun teams here in groups too. Levi's back at Worlds.
Oh, really?
I forgot which team he's on though.
He may be.
He
It might
might
be
not be.
Loki Esports. No, it's not there. I can't remember which team he was on.
Yeah, me neither. But I really would like to see a Unicorns of Love in our group, then Damwon into Group D, just for fun. But it would be maybe a little bit. No, I think if Unicorns was in Group A, that would give us the ultimate chance at chaos. So I think that's what I want. Yeah, because we need chaos to get a chance at this group, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Uh, I just want to get out of groups. That's all I want. I don't care who gets in our group. I just I just want to get out. At least let us get to quarters.
Yep, me too. But I do have good news, because the best of fives or seven best of fives, yeah, best of fives for the plans are Monday and Tuesday, and Worlds proper does not start until Saturday. So we will have a chance to discuss our group after the plans. So
Awesome.
good news. for all of you. It's Wednesday, September 25th right now. In 1 week, more like 6 days and 12 hours, roughly 11 hours, 10 hours from when we're recording, Worlds is going to start the playing stage. Oh god, it starts so early. Begins at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday,
Oh,
October.
jeez.
The opening game is Clutch Gaming and Unicorns of Love. I'm hype as shit for that, to be honest.
That should be pretty exciting, but I don't have anything else. I have nothing.
Yeah, me neither.
All right.
Next time
Well,
we talk, we're gonna have a week of Worlds down. So it's that
yeah.
time of year. So get your drinks in. Oh wait, no. Next time we no. Next time we talk is right before play-ins. Never mind. In two
Well,
weeks we will have an episode between play-ins and group stages, but still, we will
until
have a day
then.
of groups, maybe two before this gets published. So enjoy it while you can, because this only happens for 1 month, and there's only what 3 or 4 weeks of like games every day, all day.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can't beat that. So enjoy it. Find a second, third, fourth team to cheer on, because it's a long tournament, and I think we all know that only one team can win, and it's probably not a North American team. So sorry guys, but yeah, I'll I'll talk more into the next 2 weeks, because I feel like I've already rambled too much tonight, or
All
this
right.
morning, or this afternoon, depending on when you pull this up to listen to it.
All right. Well, we've been Bodied. Make sure to follow us at C9 Bodied on Twitter. And yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
All right, bye guys.